If you really want to improve your cooking in the new year, well, there are 5 cooking resolutions that you should make right now. I'm going to help you make them, maybe stick to them, today on the Carefree Cooks Code. I'm Chef Todd Moore, and this is the Carefree Cooks Code, every Tuesday live at noon Eastern. Here's our challenge. How can home cooks cook freely with creativity, confidence, and pride while ignoring recipes and still impressing themselves and others with what they cook? Well, the answer is found in becoming empowered with how cooking works, using dependable and repeatable methods of cooking that work for any ingredient, for any diet, and any desire, just like chefs do. And we'll know we've cracked it when everyone sees cooking as an exciting and rewarding way to improve their relationships, their lifestyles, and their health through better food and cooking. This is the Carefree Cooks Code. Hey, welcome back to the Carefree Cooks Code, everyone. This is the free, public, weekly show for the methods, techniques, and insights into better food and cooking. Of course, we're live every Tuesday at noon Eastern, right here on my Chef Todd Moore page on Facebook. This class is free and open to the public. Nobody pays to see the Carefree Cooks Code on Tuesday, so go ahead and share it with as many people as you like. If you're enrolled in any of my paid courses, this is not part of the curriculum. This is a free class for everyone. The paid courses that you have are found on that specific website. But look, if you'd like a private email reminder of when I'm going live, releasing new classes, other things going on in our free public world, sign up at webcookingclasses.com/live. And if you want to see what I'm cooking and how big I made the picture and how I did it, follow Chef Todd Moore on Instagram as well. There's my New Year's dinner, a cast iron seared duck breast with raspberry coulis reduction, sour cream and chive tiki potato that all I had to do was pull out of the freezer because we did that on the lab class on December 18th, and some balsamic Brussels sprouts. It was awesome. How do I do it? I'm a carefree cook. I create my own recipes. I bring friends and family together. I learn every time I cook. I wind up creating my own cooking style because I practice pro methods and I wind up loving my cooking. That's what happened over the holidays to me. I don't know how many of you were really, really proud of all the stuff you did, how you loved it. It makes a happy new year, and a happy new year to everybody. I'm so glad to be back. I'm so excited to start another year of carefree cooking together. It's our 13th year for web cooking classes, starting with a handful of us, tens of thousands now. It's the 7th year for our Carefree Cooks community, approaching 20,000 people strong. And I can tell you what we've done over the past 13 years is just create the kindest, the most encouraging, the most inclusive people on the internet. We have created a rare and special community. And with all of those years behind us now, with all that experience, with all these carefree cooks with us on this journey, it's been so amazing that so many people have benefited from, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for including me in it. I didn't make you do the things, the pictures that I saw online, that unbelievable food. I didn't cook it. I didn't even make you cook it. You cooked it, right? And then you took what we all share together and made it into something great yourself. Congratulations. So, especially in the year just past, cooking your own food at home has become really important. And more so, right? And I'm really proud to be a part of your successes from 2021. Even with all those successes that we've had together, with all the lives that have been changed by cooking with dependable methods rather than written recipes, I can still optimistically, concretely say, the best is yet to come. When I disappear for a few days and stuff, I'm working hard. When you don't see Heather ever, that's because she is always working hard. We are so excited about 2022 because it's going to give us a potential to bring all these new things for you. And within the next few weeks, you're going to hear new cool thing after new cool thing. I want to tell you right now, but I want them to be perfect before I do. So 2022 is going to be exciting. We start all over again. We set some goals for the coming year. We seek out new discoveries for our kitchens, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, I've got a what am I for you today. Oh no, this is a true or false. Sorry. Did you eat beans on New Year's? Right? This is a tradition a lot of people do. So is this a new thing? Or have human beings been eating beans, for thousands of years? The statement is black-eyed peas have been eaten by humans for hundreds of years. Tell me true or false in the comment section below. Is this like a new tradition or does this go way back? All right. I'm sure that you have already made a bunch of New Year's resolutions. Most people do, whether you write them down or not, whether you say them out loud or not. And we all have something on our minds that we'd like to improve upon, and the new year is a perfect fresh start, right? So, what are we all wishing for in 2022? We are wishing that our slides worked. Oh my, well hold on a sec. Oh, that's why. All right, wait a second. I need to change something. Hold on a sec. See, when you change the name of a file and then you don't tell your software about it, then you don't get any slides, which is something I should have tested right before the show. See, when you just get a little rusty on this. 010322. Sorry, boys and girls, hold on. This happens to Stephen Page all the time, doesn't it? All right, let's add those slides back in, because I can't just fake it, right? Add files. Desktop. See, the new year gives us all an opportunity to improve and stop making the same mistakes that we have made. There it is. Woo! Okay, so where was I? What are we all wishing for 2022? You can make New Year's resolutions, you can set an intention, and that's what I'm going to help you do today. But here are the top New Year's resolutions according to a survey of more than 2,000 people in Inc. magazine. So the first thing that they all talk about is diet. Eating healthier. This is a big New Year's resolution. 71% of people in this survey said that their diet or eating healthier was the most important thing to them. Second was exercising more. 65% of the people responded to this survey about their New Year's resolutions and said, I want to exercise more. 54% said they want to lose weight. 32% made a resolution about money, saving more money or spending less money, and 24% talked about learning a new skill or hobby. You could obviously say more than one, because that adds up to more than 100%. Here's the idea. So those are very basic, and they probably don't surprise you, and I'm sure that you find one of your own resolutions in there. But then I went searching around the internet to go a little deeper, to see maybe some of those promises that people make themselves, even more resolutions. And I found that they come down to pretty much three categories. There's the self-improvement promises, people that want to be happier, be healthier, mental health-wise, work on their consciousness, start meditating, maybe just get a brighter outlook. People talk about being sharper mentally, having better concentration skills. People just say, I want to be a better person. We could probably use a lot of those resolutions. Be a better person. Stay more motivated. Get more out of the day. People talk about becoming more organized, finally trying to put systems together to solve their confusion. Maybe it's even more radical when some people say, I want to reinvent myself. I need a new way, a new path. People talk about becoming self-reliant, more self-reliant, not depending on some of those relationships that may not be helping me. And people talk about being more confident, taking more chances, taking more risks. You could bundle, crumble that piece of paper up. Those all kind of fit into one thing. But then there are the social resolutions as well. And people talk about trying to get out more. It's difficult, find love, find someone that you can spend time with, find a friend, a new friend. They talk about having better sex. They talk about getting over an ex, a broken relationship in the new year. Maybe making the relationship you're in better, being more romantic. Spending time with more interesting people, becoming more social, even if that's virtually social. But these are the resolutions that fit that social aspect. And then there are the people that talk about the change my life resolutions. Volunteer more, give to charity, start a hobby. Be more creative, expressive, start painting, start writing, learn more about art, appreciate music, look into culture, spend less time on social media, except not on Tuesdays at noon. Try something new. So, when I look at all these things, when I look at this list of all the people, the things that they want to accomplish over the next 12 months, I look at all of them, and that's 30 or 40 of them, right, that I've mentioned, and I think to myself, every single one of them is solved by food and cooking. I mean, seriously, think about this. You can accomplish every single one of these 30 or so resolutions that everybody makes by focusing on your own cooking at home. Diet. Or eat healthier. 71% of those people, right? Well, of course, that's an easy one for cooking. Exercise more. You exercise more, boost your metabolism, get hungry for food. I don't know anyone that eats cookies after they work out. You're generally looking for healthier items. Lose weight. That has to do with food and exercise as well. Save more. Spend less on food and takeout food and eating out. Learn a new hobby, learn a new skill. People said, oh my goodness, delve into cooking. Get off the treadmill of recipe after recipe that's frustrating and really learn how cooking works. That's a new skill. You will be happier, right? Where are they all? Let me go back to that. You will be happier, healthier. You'll have better mental health. You'll be sharper mentally. You'll have better concentration skills when you're cooking. You'll be a better person. I'm sure of it. You'll stay motivated. You'll be more organized. You'll go through all your seasonings and spices. You will have reinvented yourself. You will become more reliant. You'll be more confident. You're going to meet more people. You might find an other, mate, spouse, friend. I don't know. You might have better sex when you cook. I don't promise that. But you will be more romantic. You'll spend more time with interesting people. You'll become more social. You may cook your food and volunteer and give it to charity. It's your new hobby, your expression of art, a new culture, and then you can get off social media too, except for Tuesdays at noon. Every one of those things that I mentioned, every one of them are solved by cooking. But that's not even what I came to talk to you about today. I know. It's just how passionate I get. My goodness, learn how to cook and solve 30 resolutions. But I know that cooking with dependable and repeatable methods instead of written instructions is going to empower you to achieve any resolution that you make in 2022. But what about those of us that are already carefree cooks? Right? Maybe you say, Guy, I got a lot of that, Chef Todd. I'm good with that, right? What kind of resolution can you make to your cooking that's going to take you to the next level this year? Cooking your own food at home? Check. Got that already, right? But cooking even better food at home might call for one of the 5 cooking resolutions that I think you should make. And that's what we came to talk about today. So first, set yourself a goal of mastering at least one basic cooking method. Okay, there's about 13 of them. Pick one. This is another problem with cookbooks. You're supposed to know how to cook in every single way, in every occasion. In 2022, start focusing on how you're cooking instead of what you're cooking. So a greater concentration on the method that you're using, recognizing the effects of heat on food instead of just how long to cook something. Right? That's what everybody, how long do I cook it? Well, until it's done is always the answer. This is immediately going to improve your cooking. Second, if you really want to eat a better quality of food, but spend less money doing it, resolve to improve your boning knife skills. Not all your knife skills, not every cooking method, one cooking method. Pick one knife and get better with it. Because if you're buying boneless, skinless chicken breast, instead of buying whole chicken and breaking it down yourself, you're spending a lot of money on chicken that you don't have to. Breaking down larger cuts of meat, chicken and things like that, it yields free chicken. It's amazing. Buy a whole beef tenderloin, cut it into steaks. Buy whole fish, fillet them yourself. Buy cheaper cuts of lamb cubes or stew. Remove all that sinew and fat yourself. Then go with the braising method, which is the one that you picked before. And then, oh my goodness, you're off into beef bourguignon and great stews and chilies. This saves money and it improves your results. The third resolution that I think you should make this year is to learn about your family's portions. Now, I know people roll their eyes at me when I talk about weighing and measuring things. They don't want to do it. It seems robotic. And I understand that at first, but I got to be honest here. All those beautiful plates that I saw on the holidays, I saw some huge portions on there. And I'm not picking on anybody, right? But if you know how much you eat, even for the biggest eaters, then at least you're aware. I'm not saying starve people, right? And the whole idea behind this is that dinner isn't an eat until you're full proposition. This is so uniquely, I think, North American. Eat until you're full. Most other places have portions, and portioning starts in the kitchen. We've talked about this many times. So you don't bring a bowl of potatoes out and just like people keep measuring from it, right? Plate after plate. Seconds are not a thing in my house because firsts are spot on. So resolve to know exactly how many ounces or grams of protein, of starch, of vegetable is just right for you and your family. I'm not saying starve them out. This isn't the beginning of a diet, but just be aware of your portion sizes in 2022 because then you can make movement if you want. And it's another way to save money. You start getting multiple meals out of a certain amount of meat or pasta or rice. That's how you start saving money in the new year. Because remember, a skilled cook also purchases only what they'll cook and cooks only what they've purchased. Sorry about the soapbox. It's an important thing, knowing how much food you cook. Raw before you start cooking it, not after it goes on the plate. I'm talking about how much raw food do you cook. Let's move on. Resolution number 4. Would have you making your own flavorful liquids this year. If you're not making stocks and broths, you probably should start looking into the new year. It couldn't be easier to do. You use food items that most people throw in the trash. And because when you start making your own stocks and broths, your soups are instantly better. Your sauces have a unique flavor. Anything that you simmer, anything that you poach, anything that you steam, all good methods to learn in the coming year, they have that extra level of flavor that you just can't get with jarred sauces or even with any kind of combination of herbs or spices. It's a true flavor. Vegetable broths, shrimp broths, mushroom broths, things like that. So here's the misconception, and this is what keeps people from doing this. You don't need to make 5 gallons. All right? People think, I got to spend all day on a Saturday and 50 pounds of bones. No. You clean 1 pound of shrimp, you take those few shrimp shells, you make a cup or 2. You're using the methods to create things as you'll use them and as you need them. You don't need to spend a Saturday boiling a cow, okay? You got 4 pork chops left over after dinner? Yes, after you roast bones, you can still use them for stock. And in a lot of ways, it's preferred because it gives color. It gives that caramelization. So got some T-bone steaks, got some pork chop bones, put them in the freezer. Take them out on Saturday if you want, or do it that evening. Make 1 cup of a flavorful liquid that you will then use to make rice with the next day. You got the idea? Put them in your small saucepan. Barely cover it with water. There's no ratio, no formula you need to know. The number of bones you have, the volume of the pan, cover them with water. You only need a few ounces, all right? Leave it on a soft simmer. Go watch TV. That's cooking. I guarantee when you start making your own stocks, the next resolution will naturally follow. And I want you to resolve to become a sauce boss this year. A boss of sauces. Yeah, I know it's one of my courses, but it sounds really good. Focus on one sauce, just one. The same way, just one method, just one nice knife, just one sauce, because people get overwhelmed thinking they have to learn them all. Chefs spend their entire careers studying sauces, learning new sauces, gathering that perfect combination of flavor, texture, and appearance in a sauce, and then they never do it again and they move on to another sauce. That raspberry coulis that I made for the duck that I showed you the other day, I haven't made one of those in 15 years probably. I had to relearn the whole thing. And now I want to do it again and again and again until I got it perfect. My New Year's sauce wasn't perfect because I hadn't practiced it. I hadn't done it. This is one of my resolutions every single year. I want to make better sauces than the year before because I know all of my cooking is better when I do. And again, you don't need to learn every sauce this year, but resolve to really study at least one type of sauce. Get it nailed down so you can make it blindfolded, right? Is it a velouté? Is it getting your roux correctly? Do you work with cornstarch a little better? Does your diet push you toward arrowroot or pureed beans and thickening a sauce? This is the time for you to examine that and really get it right. Probably by the fourth try, All right. That's the 5 resolutions I talked about, but I always like to over-deliver, don't I? I'm going to include a 6th one as well because this has been on my mind. There are methods that go with this last resolution, but much of it comes down to just using your creativity and discovering the flavor combinations that you like. Because the bonus one, the 6th resolution that I would tell you to make, is to explore compound flavors. Now, what I mean by compound flavors is like a compound butter. Garlic herb butter. You might use it for sauté. You might just put a dollop on a grilled steak or something. Compound flavors take your cooking to another level. And you can achieve this with oils too. You can flavor oils. Oregano and basil oil, or a hot pepper oil. You can use compound flavors in your grains and rices, in your sauces. Imagine adding flavor to the milk before you make a sauce. Use a broth to make rice or a broth to cook your pasta in. You're going to have a different flavor. And I teach a really in-depth class on making sauces, but creating your own ingredients, making unique flavors to put into those original dishes, now that is really going to take your cooking up quite a bit this year. Look, you don't have to do all 5 plus the bonus. You don't have to do all 5 or 6 resolutions. Pick one. Just pick one that you're going to be aware of, that you're going to be mindful of. Make a commitment to yourself that you're going to explore just one of these topics in the new year, and you'll enjoy more flavorful meals. You'll have a greater pride in what you cook. That's what I wish for you in the new year. Speaking of the new year, let's not forget about our true or false today. Did you eat beans? Black-eyed peas for New Year? Black beans? Sauerkraut is a big one also. You make Hoppin' John. Or do you do beans and greens? I know in the South we do a lot of beans and greens. So true or false? Hundreds of years or not? The answer is true. Yeah, cultivated since prehistoric times. All these beans and legumes and stuff generally come from China and India. They were eaten by ancient Greeks and Romans and were brought to the West Indies by African slaves in the mid-1600s. But here's the history part of this. Originally, humans didn't eat them. They were seen as such poor food, they were used for livestock. And the things that were used for livestock in the southern U.S. wound up a staple of the slaves' diet. And during the Civil War, they were called field peas, black-eyed peas, and a lot of corn. They were ignored by Sherman's troops because they weren't seen as edible food. So they were left behind in the fields, becoming an important food staple in the Confederate South. So in the American South, this is how this comes along. Eating black-eyed peas and greens like collards on New Year's Day, Hoppin' John with corn, it's considered good luck. The peas are supposed to symbolize coins. The greens symbolize paper money. But really what it was is an ignored field crop that was able to feed people in those times. Shout out to HCR there, Heather. Hey, look, do you know someone that should really resolve to improve their cooking this year? Please like, maybe even love, but definitely share this public free video with them so we can all benefit from an improved lifestyle through better food and cooking. And look, if you're considering taking my advice and setting some cooking resolutions this year, and making great sauces is one of the things that you'd like to be able to do, get an early start on it. This week's free online class is get 5 times more variety and 5 times more flavor into your cooking with just one powerful pro kitchen secret. It's another free online class, not part of web cooking classes, that anyone can take. So find out what this powerful pro secret is, and how when you do, you go to webcookingclasses.com/5 times to pick a class time that's right for you. So until we meet again next Tuesday, we'll be together for the Carefree Cooks Code at noon Eastern, taking more steps toward cracking that code. This is Chef Todd Moore reminding you that there's a method to your resolved cooking success.